Hey everyone, and welcome to Ask MandR, episode 287. Today we're going to be talking about the missing Luke's Landspeeder, 2025 Revenge of the Sith sets, and 25th anniversary LEGO Star Wars minifigures, and of course much more. Our first question though comes from Nathan, who says, do you think we'll ever get a 4+ Luke's Landspeeder? I'm honestly shocked we haven't. And it seems like the answer to that will probably be no, and I have a pretty decent reason why. And like you would think so, because they've done a X-Wing, they've done an A-Wing, they've done a TIE Fighter, they've done the Snowspeeder, all in 4+ theming, but they haven't done Luke's Landspeeder, which you would think falls into the category of original trilogy sets that LEGO Star Wars designers would love to make as a set for 4-year-olds. But I think the reason Luke's Landspeeder hasn't been made and probably will not be made as a 4+ set is because the existing Luke's Landspeeders are already similarly priced, if not priced the exact same that a 4+ one would be priced. Then again, LEGO hasn't shown they exactly care about 4+ sets feeling overpriced. The $27 Hulkbuster and $27 Batmobile are shining examples of that, but with Luke's Landspeeder, it feels like the builds are already simple enough to be close to 4+. Like you get a 4+ X-Wing, and then when you turn 5 or 6, you pick up the Luke's Landspeeder that's $20 or $30, and it's a 6+ set. It's like the logical progression, kind of, you know, and it's also much cheaper than most of the X-Wings and TIE Fighters out there that they've ever released. So I feel like maybe if there was a true, like, real reason that they've actually thought through as to why not make a Luke's Landspeeder as a 4+ set, those are kind of why. Now, the other missing Luke's Landspeeder that's less logical is the Luke's Landspeeder Microfighter. Where is it? Why has there never been one? In 2012, before Microfighters existed, they released 3 San Diego Comic-Con Microfighter builds. One was Luke's Landspeeder, one was Boba Fett's Slave 1, and one was Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator. Of the 3, of course, we saw the Slave 1 this year, and we saw Darth Maul's in 2019. But Luke's Landspeeder was never made out of those original 3, and it's been a decade of Microfighters. So I think almost that, to me, is a bigger question mark, why there was never a Luke's Landspeeder Microfighter. You know, next year is going to be 4 years since the last Luke's Landspeeder release, so you know a new one's got to be coming, whether it's going to be 4+ Microfighter or otherwise. Oh no, they made the UCS one. They got their fill. Maybe that'll hold us out for the entire decade. Next one from James says, what do you think about the chances of Ahsoka Season 2 never coming out? I know right now Season 2 hasn't been officially confirmed, and with Skeleton Crew coming out, they just might do a little bit of an overlap between the two shows. So I know very little, if anything, about what will happen in Skeleton Crew, much like many of you probably, and so I really can't speak to that. But as far as like Ahsoka Season 2, or like the cliffhanger at the end of Season 1, really, you've left your main characters trapped in this new galaxy that has hardly been explored at all, and your main villain has just returned to the main galaxy and is approaching Dathomir, and to me it'd be insane to not like do a Season 2. I guess to the chances, because of how insane I think it is, I would say there's 0 chance they do a Season 2. I know there's supposed to be a movie, and it's supposed to tie up a lot of these storylines from the Mandoverse, but I think it would just be absurd that they jump from Ahsoka Season 1 to, you know, movie. I would love to see at least one more season of the Ahsoka show. I mean, Andor's getting 2 seasons of 12 episodes each, and Ahsoka's only going to get 1 8-episode season. You think Dave Filoni's going to stand for that? There's no way. So yeah, I think the chances are very low that we don't get a second season. I would be rather sad if they didn't. And next up from CT, he says, what special 25th anniversary minifigures do you want to see in the sets next year? So at this point, we have 2 basically confirmed rumors, being Darth Malak in the R2-D2, and 5's going to be in the Tantive 4 boarding hallway set. But in 2019, LEGO Star Wars did 6 different anniversary minifigures, and so I'm going to rattle off 4 more potential anniversary figures that I think would make sense. I think when you're going to do an anniversary figure like this, it should be minifigures that don't really have a great chance to be made otherwise, or wouldn't make a lot of sense being made in other sets. I mean, 5's more so than Darth Malak. You know, chances they're going to make an Old Republic set anytime soon are very low. So getting Darth Malak as just a random figure in a random set is great. But a couple examples of figures that I'm going to say I wouldn't want as 25th anniversary minifigures would be like Commander Bakara, because I think him and Galactic Marine should come in a UT-AT build, whether that is this year, next year, or in 2025 or 2027. No matter what, I think when those figures exist for the first time, they should be in a set that complements them perfectly, like a UT-AT. And I think the same for Dexter Jetster, long wanted character by fans, one that LEGO for whatever reason won't make, despite making numerous useless molds for many other themes for random characters that nobody has ever cared about. But when that character does eventually exist, he should exist within a set of his diner, not a random R2-D2 in 2024. So that's my 2 cents on characters like that, because I know those are like good character choices that people would want, but I don't think they should do those as anniversary figures because of that reason, that they should just be in a set that complements them. Some figures that I think I would care less so about being in a set that complements them would include Wat Tambor. Would love to see a Wat Tambor. I just don't see LEGO feasibly making a set that would include Wat Tambor otherwise. So Wat Tambor as a 25th anniversary figure would be pretty sick. Saw Gerrera is another one. Of course, I thought back in 2016 with Rogue One, maybe we'd get something. He showed up in the Andor show with his black X-Wing, and that would actually be a pretty good set to include him with. But also, like, if they just threw him in one of these anniversary sets, I would not mind at all. Or threw him in, I guess it's not an anniversary set, it's a set that has an anniversary figure. But if they threw him in one of those sets, it'd be pretty cool to just finally get a Saw Gerrera figure, because it's been almost going on a decade here. We're getting pretty close. It's been insane. I think Yaddle is another perfect option for a 25th anniversary minifigure. Just one of those figs that doesn't feel like there's a really great spot for in any reasonable set that you would expect them to make. So getting Yaddle as one of the bonus figures in these sets would be fantastic. The only set I could really see them doing Yaddle in is the Tales of the Jedi Dooku versus Yaddle duel, and that'd be pretty sick. But for whatever reason, in recent years, they've kind of stopped making those $20 style duel sets like we saw with Rey versus Kylo Ren, or the duel on Mustafar, or the duel on Mandalore. Like, sets like that just kind of disappeared recently, and I don't know why, because it's such a fantastic concept for them to do year after year after year. There's so many things like that they could be doing that they're just not, and time's just passing us by while they're just kind of dragging their feet on doing cool stuff like that, you know, with the dual sets. I really feel like that's a missed opportunity. But anyway, the final character, because in 2019 they did 5 anniversary figures, and then they like surprise did a 6th one, which was kind of annoying, because I think most people like set up their displays, and a lot of the marketing was like, here's 5, you know, that's it. But then there was a 6th with the Obi-Wan Kenobi. So if I was going to add in a 6th anniversary figure, it would have to be George Lucas. They've done George Lucas as like a really rare, unique figure that they gave designers maybe. I don't know like who even got that figure, but it's really expensive, and obviously you can't just get one unless you buy a custom one. But Hasbro recently did George Lucas and a Stormtrooper outfit released to the public. You're able to buy it. I think I bought one for like $30 on their website. And so my question is, why isn't LEGO doing this? And so I think an anniversary figure would by far make the most sense for where you would put a George Lucas minifigure. You know, he'd fit right into a set. I know Darth Malak is supposed to come with the R2-D2, but if I was going to put George Lucas in a set, at least of what we know in 2024, R2-D2 is one of the most iconic characters to Star Wars. R2-D2, in fact, is the only minifigure that has been in a LEGO Star Wars set every single year since 1999. Of all the sets you would put George Lucas in, it would be R2-D2. So I really wish that's what was happening, and George Lucas would be the fantastic cherry on top as an anniversary figure in 2024. We'll see. Hopefully there are more than just the 2. 2 is nice, but you know, more is always better. So let me know which ones you want to see in the comments below. And I'm going to change my shirt now. Ed Cube says, what are your thoughts on the newly announced Animal Crossing theme? So this is something that I know very little about. I am a Call of Duty player at heart. It's pretty much the only video game I play, and so I don't give much attention to other games, to be honest. But I am vaguely aware of Animal Crossing, and of course have been following some of the rumors that Animal Crossing would be coming to LEGO. And it looks like the character designs are pretty crazy. You've got like the minifigure base, but then they've got this like Fabuland-esque head on top, and it's kind of wild. It's like seeing like a person walking around just wearing the headpiece to a big costume at Disneyland or whatever. It's such a classic LEGO way to do these characters that I really love. Not that I'm gonna buy them, because I just don't care about the theme at all, but like it looks like they were done with a lot of love and passion, which is great to see out of a LEGO theme, right? And then as far as like the builds go, it just looks pretty simple, pretty basic, but fun. It's got its like very unique style outside of the bases, definitely like making me feel like it's a little Mario-esque, but without obviously any of the electronics or big bulky characters jumping around. To keep it short, it looks like a cute theme, and it's probably going to do very well because I know Animal Crossing is very popular. It's just not popular with me personally. I'm going to take 2 questions and wrap them into one answer here. So Jay says, do you think LEGO will ever bring back the waist capes? He's getting really tired of making paper ones, which I'm sorry to hear that you have to make paper ones. That really sucks. And Bricks by Bit says, I'm rather confused on the LEGO waist cape situation. I own a 2013 Phase 2 Captain Rex, and when you sit him down, the waist cape doesn't stop him from sitting, so what's LEGO's problem? When I read that question, I was upstairs. I immediately ran downstairs, grabbed my Phase 2 Captain Rex, and sat him in the BARC speeder. And I was shocked. For whatever reason, I have just accepted it at face value from LEGO designers saying it, and people on the internet, of course, that waist capes stop you from sitting minifigures down. They don't. They don't stop you from setting them down at all. On studs, they're perfectly fine. But even more so, if you were to create a solution that LEGO has used before, where they use that little piece that has the piece that goes in between the legs to set the minifigure down, waist cape's not in the way at all there. I can't believe... We're drinking the Kool-Aid, fellas. We're drinking the Kool-Aid. That's all I have to say. I keep putting off this Clone Trooper video that I've vaguely talked about, and I feel like it's working out very well because the evidence is just mounting that LEGO is absolutely ruining Clone Troopers with no good rationale or reason behind it. I very much appreciate your comment about the Rex because that's a great piece of evidence for my video. And as to if I think they'll bring back waist capes, I'm going to do everything in my power to make them, man. I really want them to. It's ruining the looks of some of these figures. On $650 sets, on $20 battle packs, there's just no excuse for everything in between, you know? All of them should have waist capes. You should be given the option. If you want to take the waist cape off, go wild. If kids don't want to put it on, go wild. Like, I don't understand why in a world where adults are welcome and LEGO is more than ever focusing on adults, and LEGO Star Wars is clearly selling in droves to teenagers, young adults in college, people my age, and 40, 50-year-olds that are big Star Wars fans from when Star Wars first came out, that we can't make minifigures as good as they were 10 years ago when it was just a kid's toy. It makes me rather upset, obviously, as someone who's really, really invested in a lot of this stuff. So when I get to that Clone Trooper video, oh boy. I guess my answer to do I think they'll bring them back really is yes, because I think we, the consumers and fans, have the power to make them. And I'm going to try to, get that to happen. And I have a lot of confidence in myself. You're supposed to. You're supposed to be self-confident. And I think I'm going to get done what I'm going to set out to do. And that's to get LEGO to make Clone Troopers great again, because they are fumbling so bad. They're like the Patriots in the last few years. It's insane. As soon as Tom Brady left the Patriots, every LEGO Clone Trooper fell off. Not all of them. There were a couple good ones. Commander Cody's been good. The 187th Troopers were good. But a lot of the Clone Troopers have been undeniably, side by side, you just put them side by side, worse than the previous version. It's absurd. Next question from Fun Chums says, the UCS Razor Crest is on sale for $480 on Amazon. Is this one of the best deals on a UCS set ever or in recent years? Ever? No, because I think the original UCS Falcon was on sale for like half off at sometimes because it just wasn't selling particularly great. It was just at a time that was different to now. These other two UCS sets here with the Obi-Wan Starfighter and General Grievous from 2008 also sold particularly poorly, even compared to the UCS Falcon, I would imagine. And so I think this one was commonly on sale for 50% off at the end of its life cycle, which was like a year or two. And same for General Grievous. So like some of these, when you find them on eBay or whatever, if you look at the pictures, you'll even see the LEGO Store like clearance sticker, and you can see just how much it was sold for. I thought mine had a sticker on it, but I must have been wrong because I don't see it. I must have been an eBay listing or something that I had in my head. Anyway, it's definitely not the best deal ever on a UCS set. There have been better. It's only 30% off. So it's certainly not the best deal ever, and it's in fact not the best deal on the UCS Razor Crest ever, because over the weekend, LEGO had a massive sale on a couple of sets along with double VIP points. So they had 30% off the Razor Crest, which brought the price down to $420. They also had 30% off the UCS Gunship, which brought the price down to $280. Very good deals in their own rights, plus double VIP points, plus a LEGO promo that you could go and sell, plus cash back on your credit card, plus Rakuten cash back. If you use all of that, you're just talking about an incredible deal, let alone the 30% discount to begin with. And then you stack it with everything else that's going on. It's crazy, right? We're talking about 50% total value off of the purchase price of a couple of these sets when you stack things properly and do it all the right way. It's literally insane. So anyway, while $480 was not a bad deal, it turns out LEGO had a better deal in store, and over the weekend, people went crazy on these. I put out my affiliate links, and y'all bought a ton of the UCS Gunship and a ton of that UCS Razor Crest, and to no surprise, they were really, really good deals, and I'm glad a lot of you guys were able to take advantage of them. I even bought more gunships because I was $280. I didn't buy any more Razor Crests, even though it was, an equal deal. I just didn't care as much. I was like, gunships, got to have a couple more at least, right? So bought a few more gunships. I think the other really good deal we've had in recent years on a UCS set was the AT-AT was at a store for like $450 or something. I can't remember the name of the store though. It might have been like Ollie's Bargain Bin or something. Just some weird store that I'd never been to and had hardly heard of, but they had it for like $400 and it was absurdly cheap. So I did get a lot of people also asking me if I thought the UCS Gunship would come back in stock at the sale price. I think the sale's over now, and it's a retiring set, I believe, for this year, so it might be actually like sold out on lego.com from now on. Like that might have been it. Like it's that time of year where we just don't know if things will be restocked. The Razor Crest will be restocked, I think, but probably not at the sale price. So yeah, pretty crazy, some of the deals going on out there. And definitely make sure you follow me on Instagram. I always post on Instagram stories with a link whenever there's a big sale like that. And I also post on my YouTube community tab, but follow both so you don't miss it either way. Next question from Amber Tito says, do you think they would remake / re-release the 2012 Palpatine's arrest for the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith in 2025? If they did, would you buy it? I buy everything, so that's not even a question to ask. But anyway, yes, I do think 2025 we're getting a Palpatine's arrest. Like, they have to be smart enough to just know that there's been a demand for this set for 3 or 4 years. The anniversary's, been looming. We've all kind of been talking about it, and it's just this year that makes sense to release it. And I think to show you what I have in mind, there was actually a really good mock that someone built of a Lego diorama of Palpatine's arrest, and this is the style that I think the next Palpatine's arrest will be done in. I don't think it'll be a big playset like what we saw in 2012. I think it'll be a diorama and fit right into that diorama series for the 18+ lineup. I think 2025 is a big year for Lego Star Wars. I think it's a big anniversary for Lego Star Wars. There should be no, oops, we forgot about the anniversary like Lego Superheroes. I mean, this is one of the most obvious anniversaries to hit on ever. I really think that Revenge of the Sith anniversary is a big deal, and I'm looking for quite a bit out of it. At least 4 or 5 sets, but good ones too. So next question from Ezra says, have you seen the biggest Lego Venator by Willsbricksproductions? It makes the UCS Venator one look small by comparison. So I know of Will, I see him comment on my videos all the time, and I have seen his Venator a little bit. So let's check this out. He made a comparison video. His Venator is not done yet, but it is absurdly large. I do wonder if it actually is the world's largest, like you said, because I know there are some other very large Venator mocks from like the mid 2000s that were made. I don't know if they are bigger exactly or not. It looks like to me the big difference off the bat is that his actually has an interior, which is pretty crazy to see. I also like that he's not doing the like red bridge version of the Venator like I've said in my review and everything. It's just the cleaner version of the Venator when it's just all gray on top. It does make it look incredibly small. It's such an incredible build to be working on. It's a wild project. Like, I can't believe $6,000 is what he says he spent on it, I guess, man. Good for him. That's a crazy passion project to want to endure building something for that long, that big. And then what do you do with it after, man? Like, that's insane to me. Like, where are you going to put it? How are you going to move it if you ever have to move it? Like, oh boy, that's a scary prospect, but good for him. Crazy build. Insane, insane, insane. Even though the year's not over, King B wants to know what the most controversial Lego set of this year was, and it was one that wasn't even released in my eyes. It's the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. Controversial because of some of the, child slavery possible undertones to it that people claimed is the reason Lego canceled it, but more so controversial because Lego canceled it and people didn't want them to cancel it. People wanted to be able to buy that set. It's based on a movie that they love, on a scene that they might really like, and to have it dangled in front of you and then taken away, that really, really sucks. And so I even had the original version of the set sealed in box ready to go to do a comparison with, and they just never released it. One never leaked out of the factory, never really heard anything about it. And so yeah, it's really sad that that one got canceled. I would say that's the most controversial set of the year, and it's not even a Star Wars set for me. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, Temple of Doom has to be the answer, I think. There's just no set that is close to as controversial as that one. Next one from Collins View. He wants to hear my reaction to the 2011 LEGO Star Wars carrying case. If you Google those words, you'll find a case with a Phase 1 Rex with the OG 2. Oh, okay. Something you got to know about me with LEGO Star Wars. There's very few things I haven't seen, and I am well aware of this Captain Rex style, which now many of you will be. This Captain Rex, so yeah, he's on the side of the box. He's got that OG Phase 2 helmet for a Captain Rex. I have wanted to do a MandRshop.com figure of that for a while. I've got the figures ready to be sent off to be decaled by Bricks, and I just haven't sent them off, honestly. But that helmet style with that Rex, obviously Lego never released. And what's weird about that is a Phase 1 Captain Rex didn't exist until 2008, which is when they changed the helmets over anyway. So it makes you wonder why the art style for this in 2011 is done with the 2002 style helmet. It's really questionable. But even more questionable to me is why this specific Captain Rex has been used on LEGO Star Wars merch to this day. This Phase 1 Captain Rex is literally put out in a 2023 LEGO Star Wars trading card. How insane is that? Why haven't they updated their merch design for it? It doesn't, there's so many new designs for new characters on all of these trading cards and pieces of merchandise they put out. But that specific Captain Rex stands the test of time for no particular reason. He was on the trading card in like 2020 in Series 1 of the LEGO Star Wars trading cards, and again now in 2023 on Series 4, like he's also on the trading card. It doesn't make sense why they haven't updated the design. When they did a Phase 2 Captain Rex trading card, they didn't do a 2005 style Phase 2 Captain Rex, they do the 2013 style Phase 2 Captain Rex for the trading card. Again, it's just super weird like that. Much like Luke's Landspeeder not being a 4+ set, it's one of the great mysteries of life. This Captain Rex is persistent for 15 years, just been on tons of things with LEGO Star Wars merchandise. I have an umbrella with this Captain Rex on it. I can't wrap my head around why this Captain Rex is in so many places. So very, very odd Captain Rex, but you know, it's kind of cool that it has been used for this long, even though it has no business being used this long. If you guys have a question or topic for next week's episode, please leave it down in the comment section below. Hit the like if you enjoyed, and this video wasn't sponsored, but it was brought to you by MandRshop.com, which is finally back. Link in the description below, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces. Someone commented telling me to say deuces at the end of the video, so deuces. Bye.